It's Christmas Eve in Nigeria. As the country prepares to celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ, excitement fills the air. Well, tomorrow, Nigerians will come together with family and friends to feast, dance, and make merry. But what makes a Nigerian Christmas so unique? What makes Nigerian Christmas so unique? Well, we'll get to find out. But for now, hello and welcome to Randoms. Permit me to say this is Randoms Christmas edition because tomorrow we'll be celebrating the Christmas. So happy Christmas in advance. Well, I'm not alone in the studio. I have with me Chidera Okpara Iwu. Yes, I know you're just getting to hear that name for the first time on Randoms, but Chidera will be answering some questions in regards to Nigerian Christmas celebration. Chidera, how are you doing today?
I'm good.
You're good. Are you ready to answer some questions in regards to Christmas, Nigerian Christmas celebrations?
Definitely.
Well, I know you've been, you've had lots of celebrations. You've celebrated lots of Christmas in your lifetime. So you would have a lot of things to tell us about Christmas celebrations, right?
Obviously.
Yes, of
So,
course,
yeah.
of course. Well, I'm your host, Sharon Ajay, and we'll be going on the short break now. When we return, we'll dive right into the questions. So stay with us. Get ready for the unpredictable and also unconventional show, Random.
From trending topics to honest conversations and various social media comments, randoms have it all.
No topic is off limit, no comment is too weird.
Join me, Sharon Ajay, and my co-host.
A logical phenomenon every Tuesday, 6:30 p.m.
Buckle up and enjoy the Randoms Ride.
Welcome back to Randoms. If you're just tuning in, well, we have a guest with us in the studio, Chidera, and she'll be answering questions in regards to the Nigerian celebration, Christmas celebration. Like I said, Christmas is tomorrow, and I know you're excited because I'm super, super excited. Well, let's dive right into the questions. Chidera, sorry, permit me, Chidera. How do a typical Nigerian celebrate Christmas? Because we know that a lot of persons celebrate Christmas differently. If you go to the UK, you go to New York, you get to see how the whites celebrate their Christmas. And you're like, oh, this is a bit different from how we celebrate our Christmas. So fill us in on how a typical Nigerian, I'm not talking about Nigerian with a sprinkle of Oyinbo life. We're talking about a typical born Nigerian. How do they celebrate their Christmas?
I think maybe firstly they go to church.
Okay.
Or mosques, I don't know.
Okay.
But then, but then like after that, then when you come back, obviously food is prepared because most times maybe food is already like arranged against the next day.
Okay.
Then, when you come back, food, you and your family, you guys eat. Then maybe you give your neighbors.
Yeah. That is
yes, obviously.
typical, yeah.
You give your neighbors give you. If you have any maybe gift or anything, because I remember there was this neighbor of mine, they have packed out of our estate. When any Christmas, she always comes with like, maybe she'll give my mom like wrapper, like all this George, all this maybe duvet, like whatever, like, and us to give in return.
Okay.
Maybe, you understand, it was so nice, like neighbors will be giving, and honestly, Sha.
So that's a typical way where
then
okay.
also to like kids, like I remember when I was still a kid though, we'll go out, either we'll go to Magic Land or we'll go swimming, or like, just enjoy.
Yeah,
stay
I
with
get you.
family.
I know gift is like the gifting and giving of food, sharing of food on Christmas Day. It's like it's almost impossible not to do that on a Christmas Day. Nigerian African parents are just used to that.
Yeah.
Like you don't feel like you've celebrated Christmas if you do not share food for your neighbors in particular,
honestly.
and for the children in an African home. I was having a conversation with Ogon, one of our episodes, and I said sometimes when I was younger, when I was a child, my parents would just buy me clothes, and sometimes we are not going anywhere, but we just like run around with the clothes. After it's a new clothes, I'm wearing new clothes. Today is Christmas. Everybody see me. I might not even go to a specific place, but I'm just like roaming around with a beautiful clothes. That clothes, you must get me that clothes. Me and my younger sister, that clothes must be. You must. If you don't get us that clothes, it just look like or feel like our Christmas is not
complete.
It's not complete. So that's exactly is one typical way that Nigerians celebrate their Christmas. So let's move on to Dirty December. We've been when it's close to December, we hear Dirty December, dirty. So people say no spoil my steals for Dirty December. They never pay me. How want to do Dirty December and all of that? I think that's what is trending currently now, right? So what's the significance of the Dirty December phrase in Nigerian Christmas celebrations?
Me personally, I feel like it's flexing in general. How good you look, where you're going out to with your friends, what you're doing, like, you understand, like, personally, I will be doing my own Dirty December in the village. What matters is Dirty December.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where you do it.
Honestly,
it just has to be dirty. Okay.
You understand? And like just flexing, sometimes it won't be with your friends, maybe with your family. You guys could just go out, but like
chill.
People always change any little thing, maybe any little trend that comes up, they turn it to something that must be so serious that if you don't do Dirty December, like your December was not, like you could go out with your family. You could go chill with your family members. You could also chill with your loved ones too.
Like that's the reason for the season, to come back home, to have fun with your loved ones, your family, to just have a chill time with them.
Because people work from like January to like December, or January to November. Like December, that break is so essential.
Exactly.
You need to release a little stress.
Exactly. Because we walked down from, just like you said, January down to November.
It's not easy.
Some persons have not even seen their families for that. Like some persons do not even get to see their families until that December period, where they just get to have mini celebrations with their family, go for dinner, go outings and all of that. So that Dirty December
is very, very important. I'm getting my clothes if I see them out tomorrow. It's essential, honestly.
True.
And the wig too.
I think your December is going to be very it's already dirty, right?
Not yet.
Okay, so moving on to the next question. We say how do a typical Nigerian decorate their homes? Because when you get to US, or rather abroad, wherever in the Western world, we get to see there's something called mistletoe. I don't know how they decorate it, but it's usually on the air. They say whenever you're under the mistletoe, then you kiss or something like it's a tradition for them. Then we know that they raise the Christmas trees, they decorate their Christmas trees, and it's not something you find in a typical Nigerian home. Raising Christmas trees. Then on the 25th of December, we'll put a star to signify that it's the birth of Jesus has been it's the birth of Christ or something. You don't get to see that. Well, in my home, we do not have Christmas tree. I don't think we've ever had Christmas tree, not because we are not Christians, but we are usually in camp those times, those days. So I don't know, my parents did not even see the significance of getting a Christmas tree in the house. So let me don't answer that question. Let me throw it back to you. So how do a typical Nigerian decorate their home for Christmas?
I feel like they don't really do much.
Okay.
Once it's around middle of December, they just put their Christmas tree shikina. Like that's it, you understand? Like in my own house, right? Like we once had a Christmas tree, but my younger brother, he destroyed it for reasons best known to him. So now there's no longer it's not a priority.
That Christmas tree.
Yes.
But in the Western world, actually, you get to see this house has this. Even those that do not have enough funds to get a Christmas tree, you just see that they do something. Just something little. I do not even know the name of this. This round thing they usually put at the front of their door. If you watch Western movies, you get to see that there's this I've forgotten the name. I can't even remember right now. This round stuff, you put it in front of your door. And it's like a culture, it's like a norm. They get to decorate their house in such a way that it just seems like Is it a Christmas to us is not that
you can
we don't
still
take it that
feel the Christmas spirit.
Exactly, you can feel
understand?
if you go to the Western world now, just you can't pass like 3-4 houses, that Christian houses that you don't get to see that they are fully decorated.
Their compounds
Beautifully
from like their
decorated.
driveway, like how.
And it just makes me, to think that is it that we do not take this seriously the way they do?
Honestly,
Because you can legit go, on Christmas Day, you can legit pass through houses. You don't get to see decorations outside. You can, even if you're opportune to go into some of those houses, you just get to see that. No single thing to represent today is Christmas. Maybe when you see the children running around, you see them with nice clothes, or you get to know that the family, they have gone out to eat or something. They don't really take that decoration that serious. And you just get, although we are not trying to cancel the fact that there's some Nigerians that do take it seriously. But when I mean a typical, I like to use the word typical, quote and unquote, because I feel like a normal Nigerian that has Western, Western orientation would definitely do that. Because of course they have Western orientation. But for a typical Nigerian that might not have crossed borders, have not gone abroad, have not visited all those kind of places, you don't get to see their priority being decoration. Their priority might be food, might be gifting each other, might be outing, but decoration, it is a no-no. And I feel like maybe Christmas decorations, those that sell Christmas decorations, they do not sell.
They're not really. But honestly, personally, if I have my way, in my house, it will be fully decorated, because I want to enter my house and I want to feel the Christmas spirit. I remember one time I was telling someone that I'm not feeling the Christmas spirit anymore, and she was like, how could you say that? Like, I will, if possible, I can trek from here to like the whole of like maybe central area, and you will barely see like so when they say Christmas is in the air, blah blah blah, and you're just like, if you go there, you will feel it, like, you know. Sometimes I think, is it that maybe hardship that is making the Christmas? But then again, I'm just like,
I think it's more than that. Hardship could be part of it. There might be some person interested in wanting to decorate their house, but you just feel like, well, I am still struggling financially. The economy is not smiling on me. So when I get a little cash, why should I use it to decorate a house rather than I feed my family and sort of that. So yes, I know financial funds can be one of the criterion why people do not decorate their houses and all of that. So yes, I go with that. Well, we're going to go on a short break now, and when we return, we have more and more questions to ask Chidera. So stay tuned.
Get ready for the unpredictable and also unconventional show, Random.
From trending topics to honest conversations and various social media platforms, randoms and it all.
No topic is off limit, no comment is too weird.
Join me, Sharon Ajay, and my co-host.
A Dutch Cool phenomenon every Tuesday, 6:30 p.m.
Buckle up and enjoy the Randoms Ride.
Back to randoms. Well, let's continue from where we finished off. Chidera, I love this particular question. Okay, what are some popular Nigerian hymns and carols, during Christmas celebrations? You know why it's funny to me? Because growing up, I felt like most of those carols and hymns were actually it was composed by Nigerians, but later on I got to realize that these are Western songs that we just picked it and turned it into our own personal song and even put some elements of Nigerian in it. So fill me in, what are some beautiful hymns and carols you sing during Christmas celebrations?
well, the popular joy to the world,
okay.
the Lord has come. Let's
Okay.
And there's this one I can't forget, in primary 2.
Okay.
we used to sing it, and you know this kind of thing, students would arrange us for like Christmas carol, and we're singing long time ago in Bethlehem.
Oh, that's a yes. I remember that.
Oh God, it was so nice.
True.
And I was Mary because my name is Sarah.
Okay.
So like I was Mary, and like I was not carrying like this pillow baby, and my Joseph was with me, and the kids and I'm singing, and I was feeling so fly.
You know, one of the most popular carol songs that I know. I don't know. Is this a carol? It's the song called Jingle Bell. Hey, there is no Nigerian home.
Oh my goodness.
That doesn't know the song. And the funny thing about this, why I even brought this up, is the fact that they actually have turned it into, I told you that there's a song that you put your Nigerian elements. Please, we cannot sing it here, so don't ask us to sing that song. But you know the song and you know the Nigerian elements in it. It is for the Western world. You guys have changed it to something else. Bring the real meaning of the song back, please. You know, till today, some persons do not know the real, lyrics to that song because of the African, because of the Nigerian elements in it.
What Nigerian?
Are you serious? Are you really asking me that? No, we can't sing it here. We can't. So let's move on. What are some of the popular Nigerian food? Because we talked about food, giving your neighbors food and all of that. So what are some particular popular foods that you know that a Nigerian home must cook for Christmas?
Jollof rice.
Ooh.
With chicken or turkey.
Oh shit.
Coleslaw. Then either fried rice and stew.
Jollof rice. Nigerians do not play with jollof rice. Jollof rice.
God.
If you don't have anything at home, Christmas Day you do jollof rice. Then you do chin chin. It's a very popular. It's something you must do. It's a popular delicacy in Nigeria, especially during Christmas time. You might not get to eat chin chin.
I remember one time, right? I was doing catering, so like I did it for like maybe a month or two, and my mom didn't even tell me that she wanted me to do chin chin on Christmas. So that's how my cousins they came to our house. She was not like, go and do chin chin. I did the chin chin.
So how was it?
It was terrible. It was terrible.
My goodness.
But all that matters is that I made the chin chin and people ate chin chin.
Okay. Well, chin chin, you might not eat chin chin January down to November. But on Christmas Day, I don't know how they do it. You get to eat chin chin. If your family doesn't do chin chin, your neighbors will do it, and you get to. In my house, you can eat different type of chin chin. You could have like 3 different type of chin chin. Maybe the one made by my mom, a neighbor, and another neighbor, maybe my aunt from somewhere else. We must eat chin chin on Christmas Day. I feel like chin chin is even more popular than jollof rice. I feel.
No.
Well, Chidera said no, but I feel like chin chin is actually more popular than jollof rice.
If not because my neighbor was a baker, I wouldn't even know that they used to like do chin chin every time on Christmas.
Are you serious?
Was it jollof? Like you go to 5 houses in that 5
and you get to eat jollof. You get to eat jollof. Amazing,
So,
amazing. Well, that's the list of the questions we can take for now. We'll be going on the short break, and of course, when we return, we have another topic to discuss. So do stay with us.
Get ready for the unpredictable and also unconventional show, Random.
From trending topics to honest conversations and various social media platforms, randoms and it all.
No topic is off limit, no comment is too weird.
Join me, Sharon Ajay, and my co-host.
A Dutch Cool Phenomenon every Tuesday, 6:30 p.m.
Buckle up and enjoy the Randoms Ride.
Back. If you are just tuning in, this is Randoms. For a split second, let's talk about sexual and gender-based violence. We know that for a while now it's been trending. The Minister of Women Affairs and some other stakeholders have been so concerned, in regards to this. Well, gender-based violence has been one of the most common social problems in Nigeria, affecting mostly women and girls across ethnic, religion, and social boundaries. But globally, gender-based violence has predominantly been associated with women and children, which often overshadows the experiences of men who are also victims of gender-based violence. Well, a global TV correspondent spoke to a cross-section of Nigerians on how gender-based violence impacts men. Let's get that video.
I think men also go through the gender violence. Why they don't speak up is, naturally man has this pride in them. So they feel like women are saying they go through violence. Why should we be also talking that we go through violence? So to them, they just feel like it's something they could undo. So they just feel it's not necessary for them saying it out, just like women do.
There is, because I know some men went through if you go to all these some big famous schools, you see some lecturers that want to have affair with fellow men. You get, so there is space in higher institution. You can see it in workplace. Okay. You get, but inside of women is more. Okay. But it's so obvious in the side of women, but men it's not that obvious. You can hardly detect that of men, but it happened. Just 20% out of it.
What I have seen so far is only women that goes through that. I've never heard of men gender violence before, but it's more in women aspect. So I feel that it's women that go through it, not men at all.
Okay, the thing is that I think women are more affected, but for the men, I hardly experience something like that. I've not really heard about men being used or being abused in any way. In as much as it happens though, but not like women. And we women face that a whole lot because most of the times our bodies attract men to want to have a thing with us.
Okay, to be honest, I don't think it's restricted to just to women. But I think for the women it's more common. It's on a higher percentage than what compared to men.
Gender-based violence, it doesn't just apply to women. A lot of men go through some form of abuse. There's a lot of pressure on men in the society these days, so we go through a lot of mental stress, mental abuse from our families, some wives, some of the manner at which they speak to men, that can really stress you mentally. Verbal abuses and even physical abuse. Some men go through assault from.
Well, from the video, you can tell that some women in particular, just feel that men do not go, through experience sexual and gender-based violence, and that's because it's prevalent with women and girls. But that doesn't mean that men do not go through that. You could hear from others that it's one of particular person there said it's like 60-30, 60 women and about 40 for men, or 30 for men, 70 for women. And you could tell that it is of course more tilted towards more of women, because they go through gender-based violence more than men. The men do that to the women. You rarely see that women do that to men. Yes, there are instances, and I'm not being biased, but that is just how it is. It still doesn't cancel the fact that men are boys, and boys also experience, gender-based violence. They often face gender-based violence, significant barriers to seeking, help and support. In as much as they face gender-based violence, it's actually not so easy for them to, seek support, because it's sometimes laughable, not because it's indeed laughable, but because the society has made it that particular way. When a man comes to seek support, it just feels like it doesn't sit right. It doesn't sit well, because they say, oh, you have all your masculinity, the way you are built, you are a man, you have more strength than a woman. So how would a woman, gender abuse you sexually, or any other way? And it's really sad. And this is partly due to societal norms and expectation that emphasize masculinity, making it difficult for men to admit vulnerability or also to seek help. Moreover, many gender-based violence support services and resources are designed primarily, with women and girls in mind. Truly, mainly, NGOs and lots of groups that are into sexual and gender-based violence. They do not give space, or they do not even give any part for men to come and tell their stories. It is just more tilted towards women, girls, leaving out the men and boys without access to tailored support. This lack of inclusivity perpetuates the stigma and silence surrounding male gender-based violence survivors. It is also essential to recognize that gender-based violence affects individuals of all genders. You people should put this in mind. It is not just women and girls. The fact that the men do not talk about it doesn't mean that they do not go through it. Yes, the percent of women that go through this is huge, is large, but that doesn't cancel the fact that men do not go through it. So we should not cancel men out of that. We should not cancel the men out of being sexually abused, emotionally abused, mentally abused. They go through this. And please, whenever a man comes up to say he wants to tell his story, nobody should push him aside or say, oh, you have more strength than a woman, your masculinity, this, that, so why would you allow a woman ride you and all of that. There are women that also manipulate. There are women that also does things to the mental health of man and make them just bring them to their lowest. So men should be given the opportunity also to speak out, because they are not immune to the impact. In fact, according to World Health Organization, approximately 1 in 6 men would definitely experience some form of gender-based violence in their lifetime. Yes, and to address the gaps in support services and resources for male gender-based violence survivors, it is crucial to adopt an inclusive and non-discriminatory approach. It is important. We should not discriminate at all. When a woman comes with a story, the same way we are going to approach her is the same way we should approach the man. We should not be sentimental. Do not give more attention to the woman and less to the man just because you feel he is stronger or he doesn't have emotions like the woman and all of that. They should be treated equally. And this goes out to the group, to NGOs, and everybody in support of gender-based violence, sexual and gender-based violence. Please, women should be treated the same way. Men should be treated the same way you would treat a woman. The way you would want to know who is the perpetrator should be the way you would also want to know the perpetrator of a man, and they should equally be prosecuted. Don't say because it's a woman doing that to a man, she should be prosecuted less than if a man is doing it to a woman. Please, we should take all of this into consideration. It is important. It is important. Well, that's a wrap up on randoms for today. Well, I hope you learned a thing or two from what we talked about today. Do well to follow us on all our social media platforms. I remain your host, Sharon Ajay. See you next time.